Hi, and welcome to an RPM tutorial about processes. In this tutorial, I'm going to be covering what processes are and kind of give you an intro into how they work and function in RPM. So from the top left menu, we'll navigate to the processes. Now, there is a lot to cover in processes, so this tutorial video will just kind of be an introduction on what they are and how they work, and maybe some general tips and tricks on how to navigate and start using processes to your advantage in RPM. So processes in RPM are kind of a solution to a business problem. And what they really are is a template that holds or houses fields of data that you could fill in and create on the back end. So they can really represent a lot more than the defaults that we have in RPM. But depending on when you sign up, you'll most likely always have the defaulted processes that come with your RPM subscription. So, for example, opportunity and orders, as well as commission inquiries, trouble tickets, and a whole bunch of other processes. But the main ones being opportunity and order, they represent opportunities represents leads and quote tracking, while order represents the deals you've worked really hard to close and are going to pay out or have paid out or are paying out currently, and pretty much that contract you keep track of. So I'm just going to be taking orders as the most general example. And if I click into orders, this will give me a what we call a view of all of our orders that we've placed into RPM. Yours might be way more populated than my demo or have way less data depending on how familiar you are with them. If you're a whole new subscriber, this might only have one or no entries in it. So to view this, this is pretty much a list of all of the orders that have ever been entered into your RPM subscription. So if I wanted to create a new one, I just hit start at the top here. And then this would give me a blank template of the order. So these fields that you're seeing in here are default fields, or at least they're default for my demo. They might be a little different when you get your RPM subscription because we are trying to make best practice changes every now and then to these templates. So in general, they'll always have a customer name field, a term length for the contract, carrier name, sold through the MRC, who sold it, the location, product category, sign dates, critical dates, all that stuff. So after creating my order form by filling in that data, it creates one of these form templates that we can click into from the view. So this form template here, once created, you can add files to it. You can see if it's referenced in other spots of RPM. And you can see if you wanted to put notes onto it, you can put notes. If you wanted to attach emails, you can search for email integration in our knowledge base to get some more information on that. Pretty much you can forward emails into an email address and that will automatically attach itself into the form in RPM. So it's useful for correspondence between suppliers or anything like that you wanted to forward into RPM. But yeah, so action triggers or actions, you can set reminders for yourself, and the automated email reminders will also appear in here if you set them up. So for example, if your contract's about to expire, you can get an automated email reminder on that. But we'll go into that into more detail on all of those different things you could do with processes down the road in some other videos. So that is the navigation into a form. If I click that up arrow, it'll take me back to all of my orders. And then again, if I click into a specific number, it'll take me directly to that order. You'll notice all of my orders here have a bunch of data listed in them. When you're entering your orders, you probably don't want as many blanks as I have in my demo. But from here, you can change the default view by clicking active here and switching it to a more personalized view. So if you were to click add a view here, you can create your own reports. And then once you create that report, they're kind of saved into here, whether they're made private or shared. And then you could favorite them by clicking the star, and then you'll always have quick access to those views and be able to access reports. So if you wanted to just see all of your orders that were in progress or new orders for this week, you can create those reports and have them saved. Now, all of those reports can be put into a dashboard onto your dashboard, so you can have shortcuts. If I click the top button here, it'll take me back to my dashboard. And you'll notice all of these widgets, so these little boxes, these are powered by processes. So for example, my sales funnel dashboard that shows me some sales numbers is powered by my opportunity process. If I give that a click, it'll take me to the report that powers it. and then it'll also show me the process name at the top here, all that stuff. So if you're interested in doing some work on your custom reports here, you'll get a lot out of the box with RPM, but if you wanted to create new ones, we'll have tutorials for that as well. Yeah, so dashboards and back into processes here by clicking the top left menu. There's a bunch of processes, and I'm going to go into the orders here to show you some quick navigational tricks. If you click into an order and you find you want to change some things on the back end, you don't have to contact support to get that done. You can actually go to the More menu, click on Setup, and you'll be able to make changes from here. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Again, it's going to be in another video because it's just the intro, but if you wanted to do some quick changes to like field names, you can come into fields here. This is that template I was talking about. You can drag text fields in, you can edit text fields, edit reference fields, change money fields, add a bunch of fields in just by dragging it from the right, letting go, and placing a new field like that. And then you can edit existing fields by hitting edit. And there's a whole bunch of different options that really lets you get into details on creating your own processes and things of the like. But pretty much processes in general can really be for a lot of different things. Just to give you some ideas, other than order entry, quote entry, internally, we also use processes to track employees. If we have a new hire, we'll create a form for them, like a personnel file, for example, and we'll create their profile in there, and then we'll use it to keep track of some examples like vacation days, any physical assets that we've purchased for them, or things like that. You can also go a little out of the box and use process to track marketing events or anything like that. Pretty much how customizable processes are. You can do a whole lot, so don't be afraid to ask support, hey, could I do this with RPM processes? Is this possible to do this or that? And we'll be happy to help answer that. So that pretty much wraps up my introduction to processes. There's a lot more to learn about it, which we'll cover in other videos. For now, I hope that helps you navigate and kind of understand the purpose of processes in RPM. Thanks a lot.